Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Bullet Tree in mourning after pastor stabbing death. The quiet community of Bullet Tree near Petersfield in Westmoreland is now in mourning after a well-known clergyman was stabbed to death and his 17-year-old son taken into police custody in relation to the incident. The deceased, Garnet Foster, was the head of the Petersfield Mountain Assembly Church of God. Of every death we happen in a Bullet Tree, this are the worst one, are the best man, shouted a distraught Cassandra Denham, who said Foster was her daughter's godfather. According to sources from the community, Foster and his son were involved in an altercation. Shortly after, the father was seen walking down the lane soaking blood, clutching his chest. The slain's mother, Verona Foster, reported that she was awakened by her grandson banging on her door and saying his father was hurt. She quickly got dressed and rushed to her son's side. When me see him, me hold him up and he said to me, him want a taxi to go seek medical attention. Lord Jesus, Garnet is everything to me, she cried as she clutches her chest. Christopher Jones, a popular taximan, said he was the one who transported the pastor to the hospital. About 5:30 a.m. his mother called me and asked where me dey, he recounted. His car was full of passengers. He put the wounded man in the trunk of the vehicle. The condition when me seemed did really inna, may I tell you the truth, it did difficult for him make it, shared a depressed Jones. He said the passengers tried to use disposable wipes to stop the bleeding, but the blood was just too much. Members of the Petersfield Mountain Assembly Church of God are among those reeling from Foster's sudden and tragic death. It's a really awful situation, especially if you hear how he died. The church member, Lascelles Ruddock. Gospel music could be heard blasting through the community Friday afternoon, an attempt to provide comfort after what residents describe as a horror story. Search on for a 16-year-old girl gone missing in Hanover. An ANANDA alert has been activated and a search is on for 16-year-old Tiana Morgan of Trial Gardens, Hopewell in Hanover, who has been missing since Thursday, July 22nd. She is of brown complexion, slim build and about 165 centimeters tall. Reports from the Sandy Bay Police are that about 3 p.m., Tiana was last seen at home wearing a black tights and floral bag. All efforts to contact her since then have been unsuccessful. Anyone knowing the whereabouts of Tiana Morgan is being asked to contact the Sandy Bay Police at 876-953-5312, the Police 119 emergency number, or the nearest police station. Portland cop appeal for information on female farmer's death. Portland police have described the killing of 60-year-old farmer Cynthia Tiny Hines as a major concern and are appealing to anyone with information about her death to come forward. Hines' charred body was found in a hut near the Kent Jones Aerodrome Thursday morning. She was from St. Margaret's Bay. We were alerted about 9 o'clock yesterday morning that a body was found burning at St. Margaret's Bay in a hut that was destroyed by fire, Deputy Superintendent of Police Thornville Horton, who is the acting head of Portland Division, reported. The charred remains are suspected to be the body of a female, Cynthia Hines, who farms right there. It is not yet clear how this happened, but it is a major concern to us and is one that we want to be settled as soon as possible, Horton stated. Reporters understand that some of Hines' limbs were severed. Based on what has happened here, I can see that the community is hurting, and I want to assure the community and family that we are going to get to the bottom of this matter as soon as possible, Horton stated. He is hoping that those with knowledge of the incident will come forward. I am appealing to those with any information to contact the police either here in Portland or anywhere across the island as we carry out investigation, said the lawman. The killing has left the community in shock. Tiny was a loved person and helpful in the community and troubled no one. If anyone wants anything, it's Tiny. Any community meeting, Tiny. Tiny is one of the best women we have in the community, said one man who asked not to be identified by name. Is yesterday I spoke with her, and to hear that now she is dead is so sad. I know her for over 30 years, from me I come to Portland to live. She farmed everything, a very hard-working woman. She has 4 daughters, and a she one grow them. It is the third case in 3 months involving the discovery of charred remains in West Portland. The other 2 were in Orange Bay. Hydel principal, relief fire did not spread to other buildings. Principal of Hydel High School in Ferry St. Catherine, Samara Saman, is breathing a sigh of relief that the fire that engulfed the administrative building early yesterday morning did not spread to other buildings. Saman said she was not aware of what caused the fire. She told reporters that the good thing is that it was really just kept in one specific building, so at present we are just looking about relocating. We have other areas that we can do our administrative work at the present, so by Monday we should have our business as usual. However, despite documents, equipment and furniture damaged beyond repair, someone is optimistic that the school will recover. We started going online with our registrations and things like that, so now we just have to continue the process and engage the parents and those persons who are not yet on the online system. Just work on getting that done, she stated. With school on summer break and not many students and staff on campus when the incident occurred, she said no one was hurt, which we really have to give God thanks for because it was really just limited to one structure on the campus. Man shot dead after being chased by a gunman in St. Anne. A 23-year-old man who tried to elude a gunman who chased him in Limehall, St. Anne on Tuesday was shot multiple times and later died. The deceased has been identified as Junior Ferguson. Police reports are that about 7:15 p.m., Ferguson was sitting at a shop in a section of Limehall when he was approached by a man armed who opened gunfire at him. Ferguson ran from his attacker but was pursued and subsequently shot several times. The gunman then fled the area. Ferguson was later pronounced dead at hospital. The police are investigating the incident. Farmer killed on the job in St. Elizabeth. A manhunt has been launched by the police for a gunman who shot and killed a farmer in the Horn area of St. Elizabeth on Wednesday. The deceased has been identified as 32-year-old Alex Morgan of Horton District. Initial reports are that sometime after 1 p.m., Morgan and other men were working on his farm when they were approached by a gunman. The hoodlum opened fire, hitting Morgan several times before fleeing the scene. The wounded farmer was assisted to hospital where he was pronounced dead. No motive for the gun attack has yet been established by the police. Investigations are ongoing into the incident. JCF takes aim at parents who traffic children. The Jamaica Constabulary Force JCF will be going after parents and guardians involved in the trafficking of their children. Sub-officer in charge of the Anti-Trafficking of Persons Vice Squad, Counter-Terrorism and Organized Crime Investigations Branch, Detective Inspector Kimisha Garden, said there is a troubling trend regarding children who report to have been trafficked since the start of 2021. Last year, there were 8 victims identified within Jamaica, and worthy of note is that these 8 victims were all children. Since the start of 2021, we have identified 5 victims, all children, all being girls, she said. Another trend is that we're seeing is that women who are supposed to be the parents or the guardians of these children are the ones who are seemingly seeking to exploit them, she lamented. Speaking at a JIS think tank on Tuesday, Detective Inspector Garden stated that last year, a mother was arrested and charged for the exploitation of her daughter. A few weeks ago, another woman who was arrested and charged for a similar offense, and there are other investigations that are currently underway against parents or guardians of children who are telling us that they were exploited, she noted. She said that based on evidence, most local cases of human trafficking involve sexual exploitation. Though sexual exploitation is not the only type of exploitation that is involved in the offense of trafficking in person, it supersedes. The numbers showed that in Jamaica, that our primary issue, sexual exploitation, she said. Detective Inspector Garden issued a warning to parents, particularly mothers, who exploit their children. You will be arrested and you will be charged and placed before the court for this activity. We do not take this kind of thing lightly. Children are looking to their parents for guidance, for protection. You are the ones who were placed in their lives to provide the guidance and protection, and you have betrayed them by doing this to them, she said. Jamaica will join the international community in observing World Day Against Trafficking in Persons on July 30. the Ministry of National Security will be hosting a week of activities under the global theme, Victims, Voices Lead the Way, starting with a church service on Sunday, July 25th. There will also be sensitization sessions, radio and television interviews, concluding with a virtual town hall on July 30th to commemorate the day. The town hall will be streamed on the Ministry of National Security's social media platforms, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.